What? What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Geekly Goods Roundup, where we talk movie news of the week. And y'all, there are some excellent stories to get to. Yo, Demon Slayer explodes at the box office. I mean, the best anime debut ever in the US. Phenomenal start for Demon Slayer. The official title for the Super Mario Brothers sequel has officially been revealed. It's a Super Mario Galaxy movie, y'all. We'll get to that story in a bit. Paramount is buying Warner Brothers. Crazy story we will also get to. An official look at Doctor Doom plus a plot synopsis dropped at a Disney marketing expo in Shanghai. And y'all, we got to talk about it because there's a lot to talk about with that one. So I put it close to last. So save the best for last. But don't y'all worry, we'll absolutely be talking that story. And then the new Marvel Zombies trailer, y'all, they graced us with yet another Marvel Zombies trailer. Yo, we got one last week. We get one this week. They're finally rolling out the marketing for that. But y'all, before we roll out the stories for this evening, let me welcome my co-host. What's going on, Eli? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. How you been?
Yeah, I've been doing great. Resting from my vacation. So that's been wonderful. Just kind of getting back into the routine. Really had a good time watching catching up TV last week, and I had a bit of a little movie Sunday yesterday. So I saw two 80/24 movies yesterday, so that was really fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, I finally caught up and saw Talk to Me after so long.
Oh my God.
Crazy good, of course, naturally. Like a close friend of mine has been trying to get me to watch it for months. She's like, oh my gosh, when are we gonna do the movie day? Like, you're gonna watch Talk to Me because I haven't seen Bring Her Back and la la la. So we finally made it happen, and we had our snacks. Everyone but in the room but me had seen it, and I was like, oh
man,
my God. Honestly, the show was me reacting to it. But super cool movie. Loved that. And then we had some time after where everyone was like, what do we watch that now? And I'm like, you know what, just got like released on HBO Max, Friendship, another A24 movie.
You gotta watch that. How was it?
Interesting. I had a ton of fun. I think we all had a ton of fun with it.
Oh, good.
I understand why people are like, it's weird. I don't know. You know, I think it's a solid 3-star on Letterboxd. Okay. You know, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, this perfect movie. But I really am still sitting with it and kind of digging into what it had to say. But the absurdity and the comedy and its sense of humor was really fun. It was actually really, really, really fun. So I have to commend it on that.
Because that's the Paul Rudd one, right?
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
You getting some good out of Paul Rudd, man.
He was phenomenal, and like the bits were really fun. It was interesting to see how it was kind of dancing around with the genre of it. It's like, is it a comedy? Is it a thriller? You know, it really keeps you on your toes. But at the end of the day, I think like sometimes it plays out like a horror movie, but the horror is like social cringe. No, the horror is cringe and being socially awkward.
oh yeah, that's
the horror.
It's a whole other genre of horror right there.
Exactly. So really cool what it digs into. I totally see why it's not for everybody, but we had fun with it. So that was fun.
Yo, listen, Friendship, that's one that's been on my list all year. I got to do an A24 catch up. I finally got to see what's the one with the Materialist. I totally just blanked.
What did you think?
So I don't think, okay, I'm right in the middle, okay? I'm right in the middle.
That's
where
fair.
It's like, okay, I don't think it deserved the hate it got from some. I don't think I'm quite in love with it. I absolutely did not like the ending. Because in my opinion, spoiler warning, y'all, I just think the ending basically says, oh, well, just go on back to your ex. And I don't agree with that. But you know what? Conversation for another day. I thought the acting was awesome. I even thought Dakota Johnson, this was like one of her better roles in the last
perfectly cast
years. Yeah, I thought she was actually really well cast. I heard some people say, oh, she's dry, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that this is actually perfect character for her. Like this is good for her acting chops. But what's up, Laser? Good to see you, man. Thank you for the shout out, my friend. And Jacob Duke Moore, I think this is your first time here. I saw this a little earlier, but welcome. What's up?
Welcome to the show.
All right, y'all. Let's get started here. We are starting things off with our box office post, y'all. Listen, taking a little check of that box office post, y'all. The heartbeat of the box office. We're talking the news of the latest movies and this last week's box office, this past weekend. And y'all, Demon Slayer did excellently. I mean, it debuted at number 1 with 70 million domestic. That's crazy. That's above a lot of things this year. So 70 million domestic for an anime film. That is the most ever anime, like the biggest anime debut in the US of all time, which is saying a lot because coming before this, I mean, you had Dragon Ball Z movies come out. You had My Hero Academia had 3 movies. This one, man, Demon Slayer just broke the glass ceiling here, and it is doing amazing numbers in the US. It has already passed 500 million worldwide. It's off to the races and it's killing it. Then you've got Conjuring at number 2 with 26.1. A lot of people went to Demon Slayer this week. And then Downton Abbey started at number 3 with 18.1 million, which I think is fine for this sort of movie. I think this audience did very well in the UK. So I think that it really hit the notes it was trying to hit. The Long Walk debuted at 11.5 million at number 4. And then a Toy Story 5 a Toy Story re-release. Very interesting to see it on the top 5. It rounds out our top 5 here. Not a huge draw, but just to see it at the top 5 as a re-release, we're starting to see a trend here with those re-releases bringing in quite the money with Jaws weeks ago. Now this. Anyway, what do we think about the top 5? How are we feeling about this anime movie being at the top, and then at the bottom you've got an animated classic rounding out the top 5?
For sure. I think this is a delectable sandwich here for a box office weekend. I was invited to see Demon Slayer by multiple people in my life this weekend. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't watch Demon Slayer, and I knew the context of the finale, but I was like, I feel like me as a non-viewer wasn't going to be able to really enjoy this movie without all of that context and the lore. But I've seen Demon Slayer before, and I think that animation is phenomenal. I think their animation style is so cool and just weirdly satisfying in a way. So this is really fun to see. It doesn't actually surprise me because I have been, like, my fiance is a big Demon Slayer fan, and I have been kind of like in the know with the hype, like the fandom hype towards this for the past like year. So there's been a huge audience anticipating this movie for a really long time. So to see this at on top doesn't surprise me, especially now considering we're in September, everyone's already back in school. It's technically a slower season, and this is the time where like we saw it last weekend, the weekend before, we had Conjuring on top. This is the season for horror, but yeah, I mean it had the box office to itself in a sense, bumping down Conjuring to number 2, which is still doing great. I have to catch it. I haven't caught it yet. I just kind of did more of a stay-at-home movie marathon this weekend, but we balance it. We still saw some spooky stuff.
I still ain't seen Conjuring. Still,
the first one.
No.
Oh, just the new ones.
All 3.
Right, the new one.
This one. Yeah,
the new one. I keep seeing really good things about it, and I'm like, okay, I have it on my list. But it's either go see it alone because my fiance doesn't like scary movies, or like actually align the schedule with my horror girlies who want to see it as well. Downton Abbey, another thing. This is kind of like Downton Abbey is Demon Slayer's cousin in a sense, because these are both shows, like actual like long form series that have their continuations through a big movie release.
Yeah.
So again, you have a massive audience that has been curated for years behind these properties. Let's say, I hate to say properties to be so corporate about it, but but it is really interesting to see the loyalty. Loyalty is the word I was looking for. So yeah, I can't claim to be a Downton Abbey fan. I think it's fun. I think it's great. I think it's the British Yellowstone, and
Oh wow.
it
Okay.
works. I mean, to me, who I just me seeing the internet conversation around it. I'm not in it.
Okay.
I'm not in these fandoms. You know, I feel like there's the Downton Abbey mom, which is my mom, and then like my dad's the Yellowstone dad. You know,
Oh
it's
yes,
just like two
yes.
different types of boomers.
See,
These audiences.
Tyler came in with that. Boomers
Exactly.
keeping Downton Abbey alive.
Exactly. They love it and they're good. They're good stories. It's just more of a classic, more old school way of telling, you know, storytelling for television per se. So yeah, definitely everyone's going to want an excuse to go to the movie theater when to watch like their
Yeah.
favorite characters.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think this is a brilliant idea.
For
I think
sure.
that, and I think honestly, Mendo and Grogu kind of messed up a little. And I'm gonna say that in the sense that they should have had this release plan. So scrap season 3, don't even do it. Have Mando and Grogu be your last movie. Because I mean, damn, you bring that fandom in, 70 million domestic for an anime movie. Yeah, man. Like, crazy. I mean, this could be a new trend we see with TV shows. And I actually did get invited to a private screening for the first episode of Alien Earth. And I think that TV show should do that more often. Like, yeah, show me these episodes on the big screen. I want to see Demon Slayer with surround sound and on the biggest screen possible. I think this is a great idea, and it's clearly drawing in the money. And while Downton Abbey doesn't look big for this audience, I'm sure this is massive.
It's really in the vein of a watch party at the end of the day, you know? And let's say House of the Dragon comes back. How brilliant would it be to have like a ton of theaters just, you know, screen the first episode or two, the first 2 episodes of House of the Dragon? You think that's not going to be sold out? It's going to go crazy because again, people are anticipating it. It's television, but it's still higher budget television. It's still very prestige television. So it feels like you're going to go see a movie. But yeah, I think it is something that we're probably going to be seeing more and more of, which is very interesting to think that, you know, so many years ago we had Inhumans release in IMAX before. I had to bring it up.
Oh no.
You know, it had an IMAX release, man.
It
before
did,
it aired, and
listen.
it just did nothing. It's really no impact
to
the culture. Did absolute zip. So interesting to see that tactic here work, but I guess it's more of the doing it backwards. You know, establish yourself as a team, you know, your audience first, and then once you have that fandom develop, let's have fun at the movies.
Let's have
fun.
For
sure.
Yes.
It's gonna be cool. Really excited to see Long Walk. That's also something
Long Walk.
That's
awesome.
higher on my list than Conjuring, to be honest.
Yeah, like Long Walk looks great.
Really interesting, and I love, what is his name? David Johnson.
David Johnson, yeah,
David Johnson, phenomenal,
alien, man.
Amazing. And I'm not a Romulus fan. Like I you know, I had my issues with that movie, but easily, hands down, the best part of that movie for me was David Johnson's performance. So
he's so good.
He's phenomenal. And every trailer I see of The Long Walk, and I'm like, I need to see it. This is hyping me up. So happy to see it, you know, not get completely edged out of the box office top 5. And yeah, rounding it out with Toy Story re-release. Again, you have a loyal fandom and something that touches on the nostalgia. And interestingly enough, with this, it is gonna everybody feel old in 3, 2, 1. A lot of people haven't seen Toy Story in a movie theater.
I haven't.
Yeah, I saw.
Came out the year I was born.
Toy Story. I either saw Toy Story 2. I know I saw Toy Story 3, but I think I did see Toy Story 2 in the movies too. I don't know. I was really young. But yeah, this is one of those things where it's people will feel, oh my gosh, when's this gonna happen again? It also creates like that sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
It works, man. It works.
It works.
Conjuring
it
sucks.
Really works.
Oh man, Laser.
I hate to hear that, but you know, gonna be honest, after that third one, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, I kind of skipped the third.
We got our good buddy Tough Luck in the house. Toy Story re-entering the box office at number 5 is a good sign for Toy Story 5 next June. But I hope they make it the final movie. I'm sorry to say it, tough luck. I've done two videos on this already. This is not the last one. I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm just getting you prepared. All the corporate, all the Disney suits, the whole Cold Suite is like, we can't wait for the next round of Toy Story movies. So
shareholder value.
We listen, we were like, yay, Bob Iger's back, but Bob Iger came back and was like, we're gonna do what works for business, and that's sequels. And while us cinephiles want original movies, he's kind of right. Sadly, from a business standpoint, that's what people are saying. I mean, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, we can say that's a sequel, really. I mean, it's basically just another movie in the series, in the franchise, and it's following an anime. Downton Abbey, you could argue, is a sequel. Conjuring's a sequel.
Yeah. The only original thing here, and it's still an adaptation, is The Long Walk.
It's The Long Walk. And, part of that, fun fact, The Long Walk, same director as Hunger Games, Francis Lawrence.
Really?
Did, okay. I think he started at Catching Fire and did all the way through the end.
Yeah, he did. And, he played the best Hunger Games director. Sorry.
Who, the first one?
No, the Francis Lawrence. Oh, because I think that Catching Fire is the like pinnacle of that trilogy.
Peak of the franchise, easily.
For sure.
I will say though, I was reading on Box Office Pro the issue with The Long Walk and why and it actually opened the expectations, but people were expecting this because there's like not a big name attached. Like there's nobody there that's going to really draw people. And we had this conversation weeks ago. It's like kind of hard to identify who will draw people now. But I was looking at the cast list, and I was kind of agreeing with Box Office Pro. It's like, oh, you got the dude from Licorice Pizza, David Johnson, who's great, by the way. I'm not taking anything away from these people. It's just none of them are like a Brad Pitt or like a big Mark Hamill's in it. That's the biggest name you got on the list.
Yeah.
So it probably just didn't have that big appeal off of streaming. Now, if this was a streaming movie, it probably would break Amazon Prime or whoever.
I mean, it very well could. We've seen it happen before with movies that were just, kind of timid at the box office, and then all of a sudden it hits Netflix, like what happened with oh my gosh, Dungeons and Dragons. Barely anybody saw that at box office, and then it hit Netflix, and I was like, oh my god, actually, who was going to tell me that this was good? Hello.
Oh my god, that movie was so good.
I rewatched it recently.
Being good.
Oh my god, I rewatched it recently, and I had so much fun with it. And then I realized my fiance was having the blast with it. I was like, wait a minute, is this your first time watching it? He's like, yeah. And then I remembered I went to the movie theater by myself. It was like my solo dates with me, myself, and I to go see Dungeons and Dragons, because you know what? I don't let anybody stop me.
Movie.
It is such a fun time. So yeah, I think, I wouldn't let The Long Walk, just die out quite yet. I think I have to watch it, obviously, to really cement my opinion and expectation. But if it is as good as everybody says, I think it will have a second life, let's say.
Yeah, it's gonna take the long walk in the viewership.
For sure. It's gonna have legs.
Yeah, yes, it's gonna have legs. Speaking of, this is a good comment here from Tough Luck, who says Elemental legging out at 500 million worldwide shows people want originals. And I also would want to add Sinners to that this year. That's another movie that really shows people want originals, but they want them to connect with audiences and to be better marketed. I think Hoppers might hit. I think it might hit. I don't know about Gato. I don't know about that one. But I will say part of it is timing. It is a release thing at this point because of streaming. And listen, the studio just blew through the Emmys, and it was on Apple TV Plus, which is $3 a month. So we have a lot of competition here, but you're right in the sense that, it got to be better marketed. And people do want to connect to new content. It's just a lot of that is happening on the streaming end with the TV originals. TV shows are just, I'm saying it ad nauseum, they're just taking over. But there is still a big market for the original movie. People are clamoring for new stuff that's original. So hopefully Hollywood just puts the new stuff in the right hands. Because I think a lot of the time, there's a lot of what goes wrong is it's diving into the wrong hands. But we're getting away from originals real quick, y'all, to talk about this next Mario Brothers movie. The official title and teaser reveal for the Super Mario Brothers sequel dropped on Friday with the Nintendo Direct. It was the first thing. Boy, Nintendo loves this collaboration because they're making money. But Mario Galaxy, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, is the next movie in the franchise. It brings back all of the major players in the first game. Look at me. In the first movie with Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, and then Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. So your main cast is back. Here's my only thing about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Love it. Love that we got another movie coming. I like the first one a lot. Feels like it's jumping a lot of games ahead though. Like I'm like, dang, we jumped through a whole echelon of Mario games to get from this first one, which was like the start of Mario, to Super Mario Galaxy. We went way far down the Mario line. So part of me was like hoping it would be Super Mario World. Right. But I guess there was enough of that in the first movie to justify launching all the way to the Galaxy games. How we feeling though, Elaine? What do we think about this title reveal and our returning cast?
As somebody who also really enjoyed the first one and a lifelong, full Nintendo player and collector, I was surprised initially. I was surprised that, yes, we made this major jump because Mario Galaxy is so far ahead, like in that time, historically, that timeline for Mario lore, let's say. And I'm sorry, I played Mario Galaxy and I thought it was fun, but yeah, hey, we're not going to talk down on Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine is such a banger of a video game. Okay,
I love that game.
We shall sit down. Okay, it's a wonderful game. I think it's so fun. You got Mario 64, which is so incredible. So you have all of these really, really fun, nostalgic games, but at the same time, going to, I guess, our base instincts, they probably went, which one will be more colorful? Which one will be more visual? Just at a baseline. And naturally, you got to think of Mario Galaxy. It's a different setting. It's super colorful. They could play around with the lore and the story because, again, I really, truly can't remember what the main plot of Mario Galaxy was, more than just, the same plot as always with Bowser, except you're in space. You're on these planets in the galaxy. So there is more potential for them to play around with it. But at the same time, who is this for? Is it for the fans, or is it really just, for this huge mass audience that just wants to see a fun animated movie making reference to these, really popular games?
Both. Oh, by the way, I got to call out my man Sully Streams in the house. What's going on, Sully? Good to see you. Here, I got my applause sound. Sully, good to see you. We're actually in a Discord together with movie tubers. Definitely be sure to check out his channel if you haven't already yet. Drops amazing reviews, y'all, and his channel is blowing up. I'm seeing you, Sully, man. You getting them views, brother. So it's good to see you in the chat, my man. So glad to have you here. Seriously, I'm giddy.
Awesome.
Chat. Mario pulling a DCEU move here.
Interesting.
Oh, going from Man of Steel to BVS. Like making such a massive jump. Eli, you convinced me. You sold me. You said it perfectly. Visually, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because it's a different setting. You could play. Now we're in space. We can explore so much with the animation that, like, I see exactly what you're talking about. Now I'm convinced. I'm sold.
And remember that first movie, it's so pretty. It's so shiny, but it's not shining in a way that feels like super artificial and like lifeless. It just feels very whimsical. It's very whimsical. It's very fantastical. And just with that little teaser that we got with this title reveal, I was like, oh, we are transported into this animation style. And what better way to acknowledge how shiny and whimsical it is than to put it in space. Like it just feels like the natural next step. So I think it's going to be fun. Story wise, I have very, very mid expectations. I'm not here for that. Unfortunately, I hope it does. I hope it brings something interesting. I hope it's just as charming, if not more charming, than the first one. With all like these cute little characters, like that star that was, stuck in a cage.
This little thing.
Yeah, that little existential little character. Love that. So that's got to make a comeback. So yeah, again, like I said, broken record here. A lot of potential for a really, really fun time.
So Tough Luck had a comment here, wonder why Donkey Kong won't be in the movie. Apparently Donkey Kong's gonna have his own movie and stuff. So I think they're
probably
gonna have him playing in this other sandbox, Mario over here, and then you'll probably maybe we'll see Sonic. I don't know. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think that story-wise, yeah, it's not gonna be anything to write home about. It's like, we'll see the story before, we've heard it before. But I think if it has a mass appeal, it'll just continue bringing in people to the Mario movie IP in the way that
sure.
it.
And really complimenting, having Super Nintendo World launch, open at Epic Universe in Orlando. They're gonna, merchandise the hell out of that.
Oh yeah, they're making money, dude. They are making money off this, making this IP into a movie. Money
for sure.
Laser brings up a good point. Mario games have never really been about the story. It's about having fun. Exactly.
Like
if you
ask all the mechanic.
Right. If you ask me to name any Mario story, like tell me a story about this Mario game, bruh, I'm not gonna know exactly what the plot is for any of these games. Not one. It's all about having fun, like you said. And I think that's the focus for the movie too.
Sure.
Good comment here from Tough Luck. I hope Chris Pratt won't shoot his mouth off. Yeah, I hope not either.
Yeah.
Listen, man, the people he's supporting, I'm gonna need you to walk it back. Walk it back a little. All right. Speaking of walking back, we're gonna walk forward here and talk about our next story. Interesting story here. Paramount is apparently preparing a bid to buy Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers, let me give y'all a little bit of perspective. They're in big financial trouble from what happened when the pandemic dropped, when everybody else said, okay, we're going to wait. We're just going to kind of delay our movies, or we're going to put them on streaming at the same time, but you got to pay. Warner Brothers was like, hey, sign up for HBO Max and you getting Godzilla, you getting Mortal Kombat, all this stuff. They really cooked themselves with that move. So they have been trying to really climb up out of that hole ever since. Barbie was a hit. Now this year, they've actually had multiple hits. And I saw one speculation on Twitter, slightly misguided, but the speculation was that maybe, just maybe, they won't want to sell because there have been a lot of hits this year for Warner Brothers. Regardless whether Superman made more than Man of Steel or not, that's a conversation for a whole other video. I will say this. Superman made a good amount, and it set them up for success further down the line. And hell, I mean, they had what? Didn't they have Sinners? Wasn't Sinners WB?
Yeah.
Who else? What else? Minecraft. I mean,
yeah, another hit.
Yeah,
Mickey 17 wasn't so much of a hit, but you had Minecraft shortly thereafter, bringing in huge amounts of money. And then I am 99% sure Sinners was also a Warner Brothers.
Yep, Sinners, Conjuring.
Yes, it was. Yeah, no, they've had a really good year. I think it's been their best year since Barbie. And that was only 2 years ago. So I guarantee you that these guys are running the projections and for the next 5 years possibly, and I also guarantee you that they are factoring into that account everything that James Gunn has planned, because let us not forget, that's just a movie front. On a television front too, we had a lot of success with The Penguin. It also winning some Emmys last night.
Yeah,
so that's huge for them. That's also going to probably want to convince them to continue to invest on that television side of things. We got, oh my gosh, Peacemaker airing right now. Again, I'm focusing on the DC EU right now, but there's a lot of really good original and IP on their plate right now that maybe they don't really they probably are going to sell because people are greedy at the end of the day. But like you said, there is a very, very, very solid foundation for them to take a bet. But Zaslav is not famously known for taking bets. So
Oh, well, and I'll walk it back a little. Zaslav don't got the last say. Them shareholders got to come up and be like, hey, you know, I don't think the sale is gonna happen just because I don't know. Isn't this a monopoly? You know, correct me if I'm
correct.
wrong. I did study business in school, but I don't know the exact market share of every studio. So I don't know if it is a monopoly or not. I don't know because I don't know the market shares of each of these. But I do think it just seems like a little misguided in my opinion. Like Warner Brothers, you're finally back on the up and up and you're gonna sell. That just doesn't sound like the best move to make right now. Yeah, and Tough Luck's pointing out that Paramount has had a pretty bad year, 13 years here, and it's the lowest studio. But I know they got Nickelodeon stuff. Avatar is really making a comeback, so they're making that money, and I get where they're trying to go. But then y'all just merge with Skydance, like it just feels like too much is happening with all this, and I can't see a final close happening.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting to see. It's interesting to see. I'm not as curious as Warner Brothers like reasoning behind this as much as I am with Paramount. Paramount, like you said, it's been a rough decade plus. Why all of a sudden, they want to spend money to make money? They haven't. Where are we getting this? And I'm sure that we can backtrack this. And I already read an article. Like these guys, these owners are billionaires, but the money they're getting to be able to buy something as large as Warner Brothers cannot possibly be coming from like that business operation. It has to be something completely, totally external because, yeah, Paramount has just not been doing so great. And isn't Screams for the Scream franchise is with Paramount, and that's already, that's been super rocky too.
So, okay, I just Googled it. I was like, how are they making so much money? Linear television. So they have a lot of traditional TV, CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, massive sources of profit right there.
For sure.
They have a UFC media rights deal. So I did not know this. They secured the exclusive US rights for all UFC live events in a new 7-year deal worth $7.7 billion, which starts next year. So holy shit, holy smokes, they have made some major money. They also have a really good direct to consumer strategy. And also, I think they had a very actually, Tough Luck pointed it out, in a very profitable 2022. And they also, with this merger, have more assets that have been added to the portfolio. So I know it almost feels like, hey, how can they really afford? They got a lot of assets in that portfolio.
It's diverse.
I was like not aware. I was like, oh yeah, they got MTV. I didn't even think of all of the content they have. So that's what's really ballooning their income. But it just seems like I don't know.
No, at the end of the day, this is not healthy for the market. It's not healthy for the consumer. The less competitors, the less buyer power.
Yeah. So see, Tough Luck added. I was like the merger. Yep. Yeah. David Ellison and his dad got a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah. No, this is a lot.
My man Lawrence Report. What's up, man? No one man should have all that power. Now listen, I'm not a Kanye West now.
Modern Kanye West now.
I love that song, and I love that album and the albums before it. But my man Kanye been rough. It's been a rough go. But yeah, just to wrap this one up. Seems like we both agree. I don't know if this is going to end up carrying out. Maybe Tough Luck's right in the comments and that it is an oligopoly, but I just think
technically, yeah, because at the end of the day, the technical term of monopoly is mono. It's one. If you just have the one owner of all of those services or all of those goods, and the oligopoly is just a select few. but it's still single digits. It's still not healthy for us and the economy.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think absorbing would be really crazy. But y'all, we got to get to the main meat and potatoes of the show, Elaine. We got to get to the main meat and potatoes here because we just got a look at Dr. Doom's suit. Now you can see it in this image here. Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom is allegedly going to look like that. And this past week, Disney was putting on a marketing expo over in Shanghai. And in the marketing expo, they had two things. One, this standee, which shows Dr. Doom, and then another like light show that had all these different features in it. So it had Dr. Doom killing Thanos, a part of the live show. It had Dr. Doom sitting on his chair as God, before he comes God Doom. I'm like, dude, they have all these little snippets from the comics. I'm extremely excited. Let me see if I can get a better image pulled up for you guys real quick. I'm extremely excited for this. Like, because I know we've been a little back and forth when it comes to Doomsday, but this look right here, yo, like this looks great. And I honestly, Robert Downey Jr. is an Oscar award-winning actor. I think he could bring Dr. Doom to life. I think he can. And I think he can do it in a way that's convincing, in a way that makes it feel like it's had some longevity here. But let me just go ahead and read y'all the plot real quick. It's a quick little synopsis. And let's be honest, it's not necessarily like the actual hardcore plot, but it's just a small synopsis which says Dr. Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. So it's kind of like a nothing burger a little bit, but at the same time, it gives us a little perspective that they are really, really, really banking on Dr. Doom. Like really banking on Dr. Doom, really banking on the RDJ casting. And I know there's some mixed feelings. I see tough luck in the comments. I know there's some mixed feeling. But my goodness, man, the more info that comes out on this movie, I'm like, dude, I think we're about to be blown away. I think they are cooking something that they have not cooked before, man. And look, we got the Russo brothers back. They did Infinity War, one of the best Marvel movies, period. They did Civil War. They did Winter Soldier. They did the track record with the Russo brothers and Marvel, not outside of Marvel, but them plus Marvel has been a great concoction. Eli, I'm passing it on to you. How are we feeling? We got a first look. There's like another look too, but I won't bother y'all with that. But we got a first look at the suit, first synopsis. How we feeling?
I do enjoy that the suit feels very crafted in a way, and there's a lot of detail to it. At the end of the day, Victor Doom is a very vain character. He's obsessed with aesthetics and perfection, so it feels right for this to be the case here with the costume design. I am hopeful. I have long been, just indifferent on the spectrum between indifferent and anti-casting. Like I don't care for this casting in particular. I've expressed those feelings on the show before. I'm willing to let it happen because I don't have a choice. But if this is a type of casting and a type of performance where we're not going to lean so heavily on the meta casting aspect of it, and we're not even going to see his face for most of it. I don't want a Victor Doom face reveal until like Secret War, like if we're really going to lean into this, like part one, let's have Dr. Doom be, this super menacing, threatening force that he's so powerful. We can't even get close enough to him, have him be so out of reach, have him be again, like that Thanos figure. And we just don't see his face, and just have his performance be so powerful that we don't need to see his face. I think that would be really good and kind of save this for me in a sense. However, my true concern here, and this is just based on the Nothing Burger synopsis, I have this feeling that he's just kind of getting the Caine treatment in a sense. Like this is kind of what they had sort of intended for Caine to be like this really, really unstoppable force across the multiverse. And it just feels like a plug and play. It's just a little switcheroo, if you will. So
I got two
I hope it
rumors for you.
works.
I got two rumors for you. One is that they're bringing back Jonathan Majors, and he's who Doom kills. Don't think that that's the case, y'all. I think that's entirely just like the scooper mill just being like, oh my God, like, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to debunk that right now. Probably not going to happen, but that's one of the rumors. Then the other rumor is that apparently they're wrapping filming this week. Another one that I'm just like, let's just wait, y'all. I think the scooper mill has been going a little crazy lately. And we're just speculating a little, but let's wait this out. Let's wait this out. And if they are going to wrap filming next week, the positive thing about that means they're going to be working on that post-production. That means for Christ's sake, people are going to actually get some time. So if they do wrap this next week, that's good news. It means that they really are actually serious about the post-production. Because we remember what happened with Quantumania. We don't want another one.
For sure. No, and we're going to get a better end product. And ideally, it's going to be a much healthier work environment for those VFX artists and everyone on that post-production crew. I see nothing negative. No cons whatsoever to this delay and to having that production, actually breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I will do Mute 3000.
Okay, wrap it up, Lacer.
We got Oppenheimer showed us he can.
No, naturally. He got the Oscar for it.
Now, tough luck. You got to settle down on these kind of comments. Here's my thing about this casting. People have all the right to feel how they feel. I mean, I think that when it comes to casting somebody who should be in the role, yeah, you should try to get a Romani actor. I agree. I think that the same thing with Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, they should have tried. I wonder if this is what a lot of people have been speculating. Maybe this is not the final Doctor Doom. Might be a little fucking weird to throw another Doom in there, but maybe down the line, the Fantastic Four face another Doom.
That's their real Doom.
Yeah, and that's the real Doom. And that's cool. I actually am okay with that if they do that later down the line. But don't come out with the next movie right after Doomsday and say, hey, actually, don't do that. Maybe just wait a little bit. Let things cook a bit.
For sure. Yeah. Patience is a virtue with this right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's for the better.
And I think they are really on a very positive upswing. I've been saying this since Deadpool and Wolverine, I know. But I just think they're on a positive upswing with the things that have come out after the last regime. Because, I mean, damn, we getting Daredevil Born Again Season 2, X-Men 97, 2 Spider-Man, because we're getting Friendly Neighborhood and Spider-Man Brand New Day, which, listen, I love Doomsday, and I love the idea. I love Dr. Doom, but, I mean, Spider-Man is my boy, so I'm more excited for that. But we got that. We got 2 Avengers movies. We got apparently a mystery movie in between. There's probably Doctor Strange 3. So it's just, there's a lot on the horizon that looks good. And not to mention Secret Wars, y'all, is kind of just like, boom, we can reset. Like, and we don't have the hard reboot, but we can kind of reset, breathe. Hopefully, I don't know, Disney or corporate people, but hopefully they see that things need a little bit of a break. And we can kind of just get through Avengers Secret Wars. Take a year or 2 off, maybe take a year, y'all. Maybe 1 year, even though they're not. But maybe just back things up a year. 1 year, and just kind of give some things a moment to breathe. Maybe.
For sure.
But I'm not I mean, I want to say I'm not a business fan because I kind of am, but at the same time, I'm not a corporate suit. So I don't know what's going to happen. I thought Marvel being good recently, personally winning me back. See, we've got by the way, hello, Anonymous 2 times, or 2X. Welcome to the chat. Welcome for the first time. But see, people are being brought back in. And I think that if they just neatly turn things around, it'll be good.
They're also really they're giving continuity to their successful projects.
Yes.
Like you said, Daredevil, X-Men 97, so on and so forth.
Should have been Shang-Chi as well.
I agree. See, that's the thing. Everything in the last like 2 years, they're like, "Oh, let's continue with them." And man, things like Shang-Chi, things like I'm sorry, the Marvels. I know we love the Marvels on this program, but I know that not about everybody does. Things like that should get that continuity because there is still an audience for them. Even if it doesn't live, in a super, super hot weekend release, look what's happening now. We have something like a Demon Slayer doing super well in a September release. We don't always need a summer blockbuster or Christmas, drop. There are other seasons perhaps throughout the year where we could kind of take advantage of being the biggest person in that, competition.
Yeah, because we're seeing a lot of oversaturation happen lately. I mean, with
Exactly.
a lot of movies canceling each other out. I feel like that happened in July. Like none of
Yeah.
the three that were poised to potentially overtake the one or the other, none of them did $1 billion. Even
No.
though Jurassic World came the closest, it was the first. It did do the best worldwide. Still, it having Fantastic Four and Superman follow it clipped the tweets.
Mhm.
So if it was
No.
just the big one of July, Doomsday, or I'm sorry, not Doomsday.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was June.
Yeah.
And then Superman was August, or maybe Superman's May, whatever.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
we would have probably had 2 out of those 3 do closer to $1
It
billion.
would have let each other breathe more. And I mean, look at the success of Minecraft in March. Look at the success of Sinners in
So
April.
much success.
So, and these usually are, it's still sort of winter, melting into spring. These tend to be months where the box office is just not as busy. And yet everyone ran to the movie theater because these were fun movies.
Do you agree
For
with that?
sure.
I
Yeah. Nah.
100% agree with that. I was like, yes.
100%. Not even a competition.
I
I
will say
I I
I
find
like
it so charming.
Love and Thunder more than most. I'll admit it.
I
I
know you
love
do.
Love and Thunder.
I know you do, and you know what? It's something I just have to accept, Leo.
Sorry, listen, the little floating head was funny
Hey,
to me.
that's okay. That's fine. It's fine. I am a Ragnarok, apologist.
Oh, Ragnarok's the best Thor movie that's ever come. I mean, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with Ragnarok, and I don't need anything else.
All the people are like, "Oh, Thor is so Shakespearean." Yeah, it is. Whatever. I don't give
Yeah,
a shit. I
yeah.
I love Thor
We had it. We
Ragnarok.
had 2. So it's fine. Kenneth Branagh has had his time.
Yes, he did. He had his phase. But quick question here from Dark Knight Crusader. Welcome. What up, Batman? He says, "You think the X-Men movie when it comes out will make $1 billion?" Yeah. And it really
Yeah.
is going to depend on when it's released. But yes, I think so.
I think it's just even if it's absolute, I'm not saying it will be, even if it's absolute like hot flaming garbage, it's going to.
Yes.
Simply because
Huge
of
IP.
IP. It's huge IP. Look at Deadpool versus Wolverine. These are characters that were at the forefront of the superhero genre of this century. There's so much like cultural impact that the X-Men have over the Avengers. The Avengers are still very young in comparison, in that sense. And I say not in a comic book sense, but in a movie release sense.
So this is on Comic Vine. And I think obviously this is like an opinionated list. But this opinionated list says number 1 of the top 100 comic book heroes: 1 Superman, 2 Batman, 3 Spider-Man, 4 Wolverine. So
There it is.
there it is. X-Men, and I agree. I think outside of the big 3, X-Men's right there.
Yeah.
Wolverine specifically, I would say Wolverine, but X-Men's right there. Or one could argue Wonder Woman. One of those 2 is the next one. But that's your big 5. And so I think, with that being said, $1 billion.
Yeah.
Let's stand doubt it. But I think that I think it's got a huge chance to make $1 billion with X-Men 97 coming back. The other, let's see, the other X-Men movies haven't made $1 billion, not a lot of them, but I think the clamoring for a new team is really there. Like the internet has been doing fan casts for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I think it's also going to really depend. I think it will. at the same time, it's going to depend on which roster of the X-Men are we going to be highlighting here. Are we going to go with, those classic characters, or are we going to mix in somebody who we've never seen live action, maybe some more unknowns? I don't know. I think it's going to depend a little bit there, just a little bit, just a tad, because I don't know if they're going to go right out the gate with a straight up Wolverine recast. I'm truly just really unsure.
It'd
but
be
we know
hard, man.
it's difficult to do. It's just so well established, but at the same time, it's also hard to continue to use Hugh Jackman as Wolverine till he's 90.
Anonymous had a good comment here. Felt like F4 should have came out in November. Yeah, it should have just.
It feels more like a Christmassy movie, a little bit. Not Christmassy, but more of a things you see on winter break.
Yeah, Ben Graham's got like a sweater vest on. Like, I just feel like it's definitely a holiday vibe, and
it's like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie, and it came out in May.
Christmas movie, yes. My man Tough Luck is going in for Dark World. I'm sorry, my man. That one
we all have a hill to die on.
MCU, period. I mean, I think Dark World and Iron Man 2 can just go on ahead and be erased, and I would be loving it. I would be loving it.
They can go on greener pastures.
Yes, 100%. And the last piece of news, y'all, listen, we got a new Marvel Zombies trailer. Not a ton of new stuff, but like there's a few new heroes in this trailer. We got Captain Marvel in there. We saw Icarus. First time we've seen any Eternal in anything in fucking ages. And then we also saw Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Ant-Man all fighting Thanos. Spider-Man's using Stormbreaker in the trailer. What I love so much about Marvel Zombies is that it just has so much less limitation than everything else. With animation being the medium and a zombie outbreak of heroes being the main plot, with this small team of people who survived, dude, I am so excited to check this out. Like, honestly, and Marvel animation, I'm going to say it, they're doing the best out of all of Marvel right now. They are. In my opinion, I think that they are hitting every single project perfectly. What If's a little bit of an anomaly, right? Because it started with like the TV stuff. Now it's kind of under the animation banner. Kind of an anomaly. But I mean, if we're looking at Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men 97, this, and Eyes of Wakanda, if this is a banger, that's 4 out of 4, y'all. And I'm like, look, and nothing against Marvel. Y'all know I love me some Marvel, but yo, Cat 4 didn't do that well in the box office. Thunderbolts didn't do that well. The Marvel animation shit is just top tier quality, man. Top tier.
I wouldn't be shocked if they take animation to the movie theaters, kind of circling back to how we started the stream with that conversation on animation success at the movies.
Yes.
I wouldn't be shocked seeing Marvel. And when I say Marvel animation, I'm not saying like, into Across the Spider-Verse. That's Sony. That's Sony Marvel. Like, I'm talking MCU, like Marvel, bringing in some animated projects to see how it does in the box office. I think it's going to be, I wouldn't doubt that it's a conversation that's been thrown around.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's such a big IP on its own that, like, yeah, I think they got to do some more stuff, like some animated movies, like something's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, X-Men 97 season 2. Hello, the last episode.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
Hope Blade comes out the show stealer for Marvel Zombies, to the point that finally get the ball rolling on Marvel Studios MCU set R-rated Blade movie with Mahershala. They got to step on that shit. And I'm going to just say it, Tough Luck. I think we better prepare ourselves for Mahershala walking away from that project. Because I just think that
already.
Yeah, I just think age-wise, we're getting a little high there. Now, I know that Keanu Reeves is kicking ass as John Wick. I'm not being ageist here, y'all. I just think, we have to kind of prepare ourselves for that being a very big possibility with as long as this is taking. Because my goodness, I mean, it's been 2019 was when it was announced.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Holy cow. Pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
It's had so many things like against it. Like against his success, and it's just absolutely crazy and really unfortunate because I still remember that teaser at the end of the Eternals that had everybody, including me, super hyped. I was like, oh my god, like, there's some movement here. This is so fun. And it was a moment to me as somebody who enjoyed the Eternals, it felt like such a hopeful future for the MCU because it was so different to what we had been used to. We had just fresh off the conclusion of the Infinity War saga that had this very now iconic tone. And yeah, it's just changes it for everybody, as we've seen on the Star Wars side of things, obviously. So yeah, that I think it has a lot to do with where we're at today with Marvels, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mahershala Ali walks away, or they've made him walk away. It's kind of like quiet firing in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't officially said, but I mean, in an interview lately, he was kind of just like
over it.
I'm like, well, it's not sounding great.
No.
Laser with the hot take said the trailer was ass. Oh no. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, Laser. No trailer with Spider-Man throwing Stormbreaker is going to be ass for me. So I loved every bit of that trailer. Blade, Moon Knight, all these zombies. It's only 4 parts to that. A little disappointing, sadly, but I mean, it's only.
I actually like that. I like that it's going to be more of an event.
Just 6, man, 6.
But how many times have we, had a 6-episode run and with the Marvel series and been like, that was awkward?
That's true. Oh, Agatha was 6.
I thought it wasn't. It was 6. You know what? You're right.
And I thought that had the perfect will. Episode 2, we could have. Okay, maybe I'm bullshitting because I'm like, yeah. Well, there was maybe an episode.
I'd rather 4 super solid episodes that don't disappoint than a solid first 4 episodes and then an episode 5 that just
Agatha was 9. Okay, I was wrong.
Ave Maria.
Okay, so see? It did have episode or 2 that could have been trimmed back.
For sure. But it still got more than 6. So at least, the rhythm worked. We
the rhythm
worked for the good episodes. Zachary Levi got the role of Shazam and lost it in the time.
That's just really bad.
That's insane. That's actually crazy.
That's funny. Really bad.
Unfortunate, but really funny. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we will have a test for the 8th episode with Wonder Man coming up. Which that looks like it can low-key be like a little sneak hit for them.
A little sleeper hit?
Yeah, a little sleeper hit. Maybe a little under the radar jam. Like Eyes of Wakanda was phenomenal.
Could very well be.
Barely any talk about Eyes of Wakanda. Marvel just don't give a shit about Eyes of Wakanda. And you have Ryan Coogler as a exec producer on that project and on Ironheart. And I'm like, dude, Sinners was crazy this year. I'd be having this man do as much work for us as possible.
What can I tell you?
Right. Like, what can we tell you? But y'all, that has been the Geekly Goods Roundup, y'all. This was episode 116. Yo, real quick, I just want to give a quick round of applause to our guy Laser. This man has been on 100 episodes at least. I mean, I want to say about 90. 95, 100 episodes. Correct me if I'm wrong, Laser, but you've been at least near 100. So thank you so much, my friend, for the amazing support. Tough luck. Another round of applause. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And yo, we got a lot of new faces in here tonight. Somebody just came in, Olivia Miller. Looking forward to Zombie Captain Marvel. Yeah, can't wait for that as well. Yo, we had a lot of new faces in here. Anonymous, Batman pulled up, Dark Knight Crusader. So thank you guys so much for coming to the Geekly Goods Roundup, y'all. Listen, we do this every single Monday at 6 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. MT, 8 p.m. CT, and 9 p.m. ET. So come on back, y'all, next Monday because we'll be talking about it. Ileana, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your platforms.
You can find me at Captain Melendez on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. You can find me and my wonderful fellow film critics and colleagues over on the Puerto Rico Critics Association. We are at PR Critics on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find the podcast, the PRCA podcast, basically everywhere you listen to podcasts right now. The critics are covering a lot of movies this fall, and in particular the fall festival season, with Venice having concluded, TIFF just finished, and New York Film Festival is just around the corner, which is a really big one for us. So please go check it out. The guys are so good at their coverage, and honestly, they give me FOMO, and I'm not a person who has FOMO. But I love fall festival season, so definitely go check it out.
Yeah, guys, we got festival season coming up, so we've got a lot of reviews that'll be dropping on the channel. Apologies in advance, but y'all already know we keeping it real here at Geekly Goods with at least 6 videos a day. So definitely come back to the channel, y'all. Every Monday, like I said, live stream, and then every day we're dropping 6 shorts, y'all, keeping you up to date on the latest Marvel, DC movies, and TV here on the channel. Yo, we just learned about potentially Jim Carrey might be coming back as Sonic 4. Okay, no. Let me walk that back, y'all. Go check out the video on the channel. You'll get some details on that, as well as a new look, a never before seen photo of Wanda Maximoff in the WandaVision series. Now, this is from episode 1 of WandaVision, an outtake, but hey, definitely go check it out over on the channel, as well as other pieces of news. And coming this week, we got a review for Only Murders in the Building season 5. Phenomenal season. I mean, my goodness, this show just continues to be amazing. We also got the new Netflix Wayward show, which is coming out, I think, next week, but starring Toni Collette, and it is a phenomenal show. Toni Collette is so good. I mean, every time she's on screen, y'all, she's amazing. And we also got more films on the way. I'm going to be seeing him, Jordan Peele, this week. So definitely stay tuned to the content, y'all, because it is dropping all day, every day. And y'all, we will see you next time on Geekly Goods. See y'all.